Welcome to an impromptu version of, I guess, driving with styles, watching with styles, combination of the both. Man, it's just very, very weird, and I don't know how long this is gonna take because I can talk about this for 2 hours. But it's it's weird that I'm gonna show you this, and it's gonna explain why, and even explains to me because I knew sort of the story, but I didn't know the whole story. And this game here that I'm going to show, and it's weird that I'm showing you an LSU game. Now, I don't know if you guys know who this is. This is my man Mike Archer. Coach Archer was the head coach at LSU. I think the youngest head coach at the time when I was in Louisiana. And take this for what it's worth. My childhood home was about 6 miles. I think it's exactly 6 miles from Tiger Stadium. And this is um, the earthquake game. And my family wasn't LSU fans, so I didn't even see the game. Okay, this is the weird part about it. We weren't watching. Uh, we were. Um, where we at? I can't remember what happened, but somehow a Southern game was early, and something happened. We was at home for some reason, and we felt the earthquake. There was a tremble. Okay, 6 miles away. And people always wonder why I didn't go to LSU because I live right there. There's many reasons. One reason, my dad walked on to Southern for football, and we were Southern fans. He should have went to Mississippi Valley State. He had a scholarship there, but because my mom was pregnant and wanted to come to Baton Rouge, he had. A long story short, I'm not gonna get into that. So let's play this game. And the reason why I'm playing this game because there is a reason. Right then, there was the earthquake. Apparently, all the fans jumped up and kind of at the same time, and it registered earthquake. Bam! Now, you know who this guy is, but you don't know who this guy is. And here's the story. This guy name is Tucker Peavy. All right? He was a GA for Coach Archer in '88. In '88, I think I was in eighth grade. All right. So this is the long story of it. In high school, my junior year, we had a great season. And the head coach of my high school decided to leave. He met this lady that he's gonna later marry, and she had a business, and they were gonna move to Mississippi. So he left with her. All right. So that made us have to find a new coach, and we had a defensive coordinator who was amazing. Coach Baranich set me up and gave me a foundation of why I became a great DB, a good DB, how you want to say it, in college. So he became the head coach. He was actually a head coach of a rival. Then my old head coach brought him in as defensive coordinator, and then the next year he leaves. So here is the story. So what happens is when Coach Barani became head coach, he brings in this guy as the OC. And that's where the story gets crazy. Coach Peavy created something that I wish I had another couple of years to play with them, but I only had the one season. And he saw something in me within that one season that made him contact this guy, who was at University of Virginia, and says, I got this kid. And at the time, my senior year going into football season, I was like 5'9", 145 maybe. So Coach Hallman, who was at LSU, saw me as a undersized everything. He said I couldn't play quarterback and I couldn't play corner. because I was just too small. So Coach Peavy gave my film to Coach Archer. Now at this time, I am going to Southern Mississippi. Coach Thompson, not Coach Robinson recruited me. I went to a camp and they loved me. I'm like, I'm going there. All I gotta do is at the right time go up there on my visit and tell them I'm signing. Coach Robinson did a good job. Coach Bauer was a great coach. There's long stories about him. After I didn't go there, he met my parents at my sister's basketball game, knew who they were, went up and talked to them. That's the kind of man he was. Coach Withers was my DB coach. Loved that guy. He actually went to Louisville and we played him my senior year. But so here's what happened. So I'm going to Southern Miss. I go to Southern Miss and they don't have a mechanical engineering department. Although Coach Robinson has been promising me they have a mechanical engineering department. I'm like, okay, cool. But Southern Miss, my family is from Woodville, Mississippi. Southern Miss is the Harvard of my parents' hometown. That shows you how poor the town was. So I got to go to a school that was highly regarded in my family circle, and that was only 2 hours away from home. So, and they were given the SEC hell. You look up in the early 90s of Southern Miss football, they were independent, I think, at the time. They were playing Bama tight. They were giving the SEC teams hell. So I'm like, okay, this might be the place for me. So like I said, I went on a recruiting trip. One of my visit had not every expectation. I was signing until I went to the academic portion and they said they do not have a mechanical engineering department. So then I had to retrace my steps. While going to Southern Miss, Coach Archer leaves Virginia where he's a linebacker coach and he comes to Kentucky as the DC. Now, I couldn't get to UVA. I was in case Barber didn't come, or in case some of the local guys didn't come, I was the first out-of-state guy that they were going to bring in. Well, that didn't happen. Rondé signed and all that stuff. So they had all their scholarship filled. Well, he came to Kentucky, looked at my film, showed the film to Coach Smith, and that's how I got to Kentucky. Here's the crazy part about it. This is why I say life is crazy and your path is kind of dictated for you. If the head coach that I had, who was the head coach of my high school for years, didn't meet this lady that had him move to Mississippi, I wouldn't have never met this guy. And without that guy, I'd never get to Kentucky. Because after that, Mississippi, we played in the All-Star game, and I played receiver, and I was offensive MVP of the All-Star game with my man K. Frank. He was we played together in that game, and after that game, Curly Harmon calls me and say, "We want you to come, and we're going to offer you." I'm like, it's too late. I already committed to that guy. And one thing you know about me, I'm loyal. Once I make that decision, it's done. And although I wasn't never going to go to LSU, I might have gone somewhere else. But that's the crazy story. I saw this film and I knew Coach Peavy was a GA. But man, to see him on this film brought back memories. This guy is one of the big reasons. Oh no, he is the reason why I'm at Kentucky. So if anyone is happy about playing for Kentucky, it is purely Tucker Peavy's doing. Because without him, I don't get to Coach Archer. And here's the crazy part. If Coach Archer doesn't go to Kentucky and becomes a defensive coordinator, I'm not at Kentucky either. It's weird how things work out, man. Timing is everything. Getting him as my OC in high school, Coach Archer leaving to go to Kentucky is solely the reason why I'm at Kentucky. Without these two guys in this picture, I'm not at Kentucky because no one recruited me from Kentucky at all. No one even knew of me. First of all, I was a small school guy, and that's why I owe him so much, because he saw that even though I played in a small class and not against the best talent, he knew and he told me, you can play Major D1. That guy, I owe him so much for my getting to where I'm at now because of his connection with the great Coach Archer. Weird, man, but it's crazy how the world works. But I owe this guy everything for that. And I owe this guy a lot too for when I got to college, because he made me, he helped me get to be the guy that I am now. But I appreciate that, Louis. Appreciate that, Louis. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This was, when I saw this and I saw Coach Peavy, dude, my mouth dropped. So that's the story of how I got to UK. Coach Peavy, Tucker Peavy, was the catalyst, and I appreciate him for everything he did for me in high school and getting me to Coach Archer, who then got me to Coach Smith, and the story is over with after that. Once I got to Lexington and took that visit, because here's the deal, I was taking all my visits. It didn't matter. I was a little kid from Baton Rouge. I was gonna take them all, and Kentucky came in late. I'm like, I'm just gonna go there. Had no intentions of going, even attending Kentucky. But I'm like, oh, that's a different place. Never been to Kentucky. Let me go. Once I stepped foot in Lexington, it was over. That's why I always say, if you get these kids to come to Lexington, it's something about the area. Like I said, I had no intentions of attending Kentucky. Knew nothing about Kentucky. To be honest with you, knew zero. But once I stepped foot in Lexington, I didn't even have a great freaking host. Wasn't like I came to Kentucky because the guy who hosted me did something crazy and made me, oh, wow, yes, I'm going. It was the feeling from the area and from the fans and, of course, the coaches. And if you get a kid to come to Lexington, it's going to be hard for him to say no, unless he's going against Bama. I'm just joking. But that's all, guys. Appreciate you watching this little crazy story. But, man, when I saw this, man, it just, I've never seen this part of it. I've never paid attention to Coach Peavy in this video. But, man, it's crazy. All right. That's all I got, man. And I will see you guys tomorrow as we talk about this Florida game. And I'm gonna leave with the outro of me playing quarterback, because this quarterback film is all from 99% of it is from Coach Peavy. We ran something that is similar to the spread they run now, which is crazy. God changed my life, man. All right, see you guys tomorrow.